Hi guys, Jason Burden here. If you're seeing this film, it's because one of my business partners is probably sitting with you right now and sharing some information. Please watch the film to the end and take the next step. Okay, so first of all, we are going to talk a little bit about the economy of the world, okay? This is an illustration from a book called The Cashflow Quadrant. It's written by a man called Robert Kiyosaki. He's a Chinese-American author. He's written many books on economic thinking, okay? And in this book, The Cashflow Quadrant, what he's actually talking about is if you take all the world's money, if you divide it up into 4 areas, who actually gets that money and how are they affected by it? So you see in one part of the quadrant, it says E and S. This is if you are employed. If the E actually stands for employed. So if you're employed, it means that you rent your time for money. And you also have a boss that tells you how much you're worth. I remember when I first got my first job, and it was actually a very embarrassing moment because the boss told me how much I was going to get and I started laughing. And he said, "Why are you laughing?" I actually thought he was joking. I couldn't believe I had to stay a whole hour for what he offered. But I don't know about you, but most people feel like that, don't they? We always feel when we've got a job and we settle for, I don't know what the payment is, but we settle for what they offer. And sometimes we're not happy, so we go and look for another job where it might be a little bit higher. And then you've got the self-employed. These are the people that don't want a boss. So they set up a small business. Could be a small business owner, self-employed. They could be a professional such as a doctor or a lawyer where they open their own practice. And they're basically the people on this side of the quadrant, they are producing something called an active-based income. You physically have to go to work every day to earn the money. And what happens if you stop working? The money also stops. And the thing is, this is where 90% of the world's people are. But there's one massive problem because they only share 10% of the world's money. And that is why you hear a certain conversation in the E part of the quadrant. If you're employed, this is the conversation you hear. "Oh, I'm broke. I can't wait till payday. Oh, the washing machine's broken. Oh, there's no food in the cupboard. Oh, it's just like this." Or you're having to call people to borrow money to wait because payday's 2 weeks away. And then if you're self-employed, this is their conversation. You hear, "I'm so stressed. I've got no time. I can't go on holiday yet, but there's nobody to look after my company." And this is sort of an awkward, we sort of accept this, and it's all to do with our education, okay? Because it doesn't matter where you come from in the world, we are all taught one thing from a very early age, and it's the education we are given, and it's to work hard, get good grades, and get a good job, and work that job till you're old. But the thing is, most of us, we do have dreams about, "God, wouldn't it be nice to win the lottery?" Or "Wouldn't it be nice just to have have Monday off and the money comes in anyway?" I don't know if you've ever thought like that, but I always think like that. And sometimes we hear the saying, money makes money. I'm pretty sure every single one of you's heard that money makes money. But a lot of people haven't heard about the B in the quadrant. This is the business builder, okay? The big business owner. They have 500 employees or more. They are not interested in a safe, secure job. They are interested in freedom. So they create businesses which create passive income. They may have many small businesses where they employ other people to run their businesses for them because they want freedom. And then they don't live from this passive income. They take that money and they will invest it into anything that makes money because they don't want to pay tax. When we rent our time for money, on the E and the S, we normally pay around 30% tax. On the other side, the B and the I, they normally pay around 15% tax. And the thing is, this is where 10% of the world's people are, but they're sharing 90% of the world's money. It's completely around the other way. And for me, when I first heard this, it was 17 years ago, and I was thinking, I just felt a bit sick in the stomach, because I thought, why should I be poor? Why have I gone through an education that's taught me to be a modern day slave? So I started to read this book more and more. The good news is you can too, because the only difference between one side of the quadrant and the other is how you think. Okay, because most of you have had an education of around 15 years that teaches you to have a job. And now I'm telling you to have an open mind, because the mind is like a parachute. It only works when it's open. And the good news is you're not a tree. You can change direction. It's okay. You don't need to carry on renting time for money. That option is there for you if you want to do something different. Well, I'm glad that you took the time to actually watch the cash flow quadrant. You know, I'm just going to ask you now, is your mind open enough just to check this out? You know, get back to the person who's showing you this film and just take some advice, because, you know, they've had the courage to show you this film because they're excited about their future. And all you need to do is ask yourself, do you really want change? Is your mind open enough just to look? Okay, you just need to look, and just come along to one of our Zoom meetings and see if this is something that, you know, that could help you get some of your dreams and goals in the future. Okay, I really look forward to meeting you. See you again. Bye.